So if you are here, if you're watching, please comment and let us know. Say hi. If you're watching the replay, put in the hashtags replay so that we will know that you connected if you get something valuable, or if you want to share. If we talk about something and you've learned something along those lines or have an example, please put it in the comments so that we can learn from each other and celebrate each other, because that is what we are here for. So Jen and I met a couple years ago, and unfortunately our paths have not crossed very often until recently, when the East Cobb Business Association started a women's monthly lunch. And I was like, okay, that's my event. I am there. So I'm really glad that you guys started that. And you are, what is your role with the East Cobb Business Association? You're in a leadership role.
I work right underneath the president, assisting as needed. So I attend all the board meetings, and I'm on the communications committee. So basically facilitate, sorry, I was getting a call in. I help facilitate all the events that we have and getting the word out.
Okay, awesome. So when I met you a few years back, you were doing something completely different. You had a couple different jobs. Now you are working full-time for Piedmont Injury Law, and we'll talk about them at the end. But you are involved in the East Cobb Business Association. Are there other associations that you belong to, or is it mostly ECBA?
We go to the Northeast Cobb Business Association because Ken Croston, our owner and attorney, is former president. He's on the board there. And our office is looking to move into downtown Kennesaw, so we've been participating more in KBA events. Okay. And besides that, I would say, the Master Networks, which is like a BNI, a closed group, I'm the vice president of our chapter, and it's in East Cobb.
Cool. So you are very involved and active in the local business community, and you have changed significantly from when we met a couple years ago to now working full-time in this marketing position for this injury law group. And we were chatting. First of all, you spent a month in Guatemala with a 7-year-old, with your daughter, right?
Right, and then my 1-year-old.
And 1-year-old, which is amazing that you went and did international travel, just you, without your spouse, and you were immersed in the language and the culture, and I admire you so much. So clearly you are fearless to some degree. But talk to me about this thinking outside the box. I asked you to share with us something, what is a big lesson you've learned in this business world, and you were telling me about thinking outside the box is what you would encourage other business owners to do.
Oh, for sure. So I never would have imagined a few years ago that I would be working in a law firm. I mean, I know hardly anything. I didn't know anything about personal injury law. I don't like to read any legal documents, so I'm like, I can't believe I'd be doing this. But in my role, I came in, and I don't have a marketing degree. I have not been schooled and trained in the way that most professional marketers have been trained. But what I did come in with was, from my previous efforts, relationship marketing. And that is basically, you figure out what the relationships are that are most important in your company, which is, first, it starts with the owner and their mindset and the values of that person, and then translating that through the employees, and then that translates into taking care of them and empowering them, and then that translates into the client care, which is the ultimate small business win, right? When you've excelled in customer service, and you have a really strong, motivated team that's all rowing in the same boat, and you're making an impact on the community, and that's where I feel like you really hit the mark. Well, I haven't executed that in a way that would be traditional. For me, this role is a completely creative role. I enjoy getting out and having fun and building relationships with different people, and so we create events, we attend events, and just like our event that we're having on Friday, it's not related to law, and it's not related to our business directly, but what we're about is the community, giving back, and having a good time and living active lifestyles. And so I've basically just taken what is important to us and what we like to do and create different things around it. And eventually we align with the people who want that for themselves as well. And as a result, I've been with the firm almost 2 years. It's working. It's working, and I'm enjoying it. And I think every business needs to just stop looking at what is everybody else doing in your industry. And here's the turnkey operation. Okay, we're going to do lead generation, and we're going to do digital advertising, and we're going to run mailers, and all, those are all traditional ways, and they all work, but that's not my skill set, that's not my passion, that's not my interest. And so I would encourage each person in the business, in whatever role you're in, hey, figure out what really fires you up, and just find a way to make that valuable to your company. And your company is going to be different than any other company. I don't know any other law firm that does what we do. And we're having a great time, and the business is growing and thriving.
So as some examples, you've done ballroom dance night, you've done cornhole, you've done tennis. You're doing an outdoor field games type networking event this Friday called the Bash, and this is the second annual one, right?
That's true, yeah. It looks a lot different this year than it did last year, of course. The original vision was to create a family environment where professionals can come and network and bring their kids and their spouses and their significant others too, and be able to share that. You get to know people a lot better when you can see their family, and you can have fun and do things you wouldn't normally do. And so last year we had a dunk tank, and we had bounce houses and all sorts of entertainment. This year is really focused on the business associations coming together for the competition.
Okay. But it's outdoors, and don't bring your kids if you don't feel safe. It's according to everybody's personal, because we know that there's all different sides of things. But outdoors is at least less dangerous than some indoor things.
Right. I'll be honest with you. I could have canceled. Everybody would understand if we had just moved it till next year. And I was on the fence for a while, because we don't want to be reckless. We don't want to do something that then people are like, oh, how could you do that? So I was trying to feel the climate of, okay, are people coming to events or not? But I thought to myself, okay, if I just lower the bar and I just say, if we have 20 people that come out and we have fun, it's going to be a success. It's going to be fun. And next year we're going to just do it different depending on what it looks like next year. But honestly, we have almost 80 people registered to attend. Not that many people are going to show, because people register and then life happens. But we have 12 businesses as part of our business expo, and it's going to be a real event. There are people that want to get out and have a good time, and we're trying to modify the competition so that people are spaced out and they can feel comfortable. And of course, if people want to wear masks, they can do that. But we still want to move forward and just proceed on instead of just taking the safe route, which is to just wait until next year.
Right. And where is the bash taking place, and what time?
It's going to be at Swift Cantrell Park in Kennesaw from 2 to 5.
Okay.
And then we're going to have an after party at the office for anybody who wants to come. It's going to be tailgating, grill out, and stuff like that.
Awesome. So look up Jen Starks on Facebook or Piedmont Injury Law on Facebook, and you will be able to find the event details and register and join us for outdoor networking. And honestly, I have to, and I hate it when people say honestly, otherwise I'm not honest. But to be transparent, I'm not big about doing outdoor stuff and getting hot and sweaty. But I signed up because it's about being part of the community, and we have to get back to business in some form and fashion. We can't put it on hold forever because of COVID. So I'm excited to be there and be part of the event on Friday. Before we wrap up, share with me just a little bit about one way that you are thinking outside the box is because you're choosing what influences you. You don't have a TV.
That's right. Yeah. I really don't get a lot of life out of following what the media is saying out there. And so I really don't, unless it's immediately related to my family and my life and our community. I'd like to hear from the actual people who are changing policies here. I have a lot of friends like Mike Boyce that I ask them about what's going on in Cobb County rather than, what some type of periodical or what the TV's saying. And so I kind of keep myself unplugged with things like that because it's so much harder to become positive and hopeful and upbeat and energetic when you're feeding your mind with the negativity and the gossip and the fear nature that I feel like is perpetuating our environment right now.
Right. And I think that's a good point, that if the less time you spend listening and seeing what mainstream media and people are saying, and limit your exposure, the easier it is for you to be positive and just focus on doing what you need to do.
Right. It doesn't serve me to spend my attention on that. I have 4 kids that are young, and I'd rather, think about that or how we can grow the firm or, what fun things or good things to do are out there and create.
Awesome. So to recap, as far as business advice, thinking outside the box, look at what everybody else is doing and then figure out what you can do differently, something that's authentic to you. I talk about authenticity a lot in social media. And so figuring out what's authentic to you, what skills do you have, how can you apply that in a different way to stand out from the crowd. Don't be restricted by traditionally this is the way things are done. Look around for some inspiration and then limit the negative news and input into your life so that it's easier for you to focus on the positive and not rely on what other people are saying, but go straight to a source and check things out for yourself. So thank you for joining us here today. Piedmont Injury Law, one last thing. Tell us about how you help people.
How we want people?
How you help,
what do you mean, like?
How you help people.
I want people to get hurt. No, no, we don't. We hope that none of you have to become our client. Because one of the things that people don't realize, unless you've been in an accident, it's not just about the day you're hurt. Being seriously injured impacts every part of your life, and it can last a long time. We have some clients that we're still working with 4 years after their accident because it was just so bad and there's just so much that goes into it, whether it goes into litigation or it doesn't. And we try to keep work.
Our signal got interrupted. Zoom dropped. Well,
that legal care is possible. So really what we try to focus on is building a medical network where we know which providers we can trust that are going to give our clients high class service, and we can get them in quickly and accurately because it's so important, especially right after an injury, to get treated right away.
Understand. My mother-in-law was in a car accident a year ago in Florida and still dealing with some of the issues there. So thank you. We know who to call if we need you. Hope we don't. But I appreciate you being here with me today and your input. And I look forward to seeing you on Friday.
Thank you, Melinda. It's been a pleasure. It's been fun. Thank you.